Kamara Drive-In. It's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints getting set to take over, and they will be led out by the all-time leading passer in NFL history in his 19th year now in the NFL, Drew Brees. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
He led the NFL in receptions last year with 125, and for wide receiver Michael Thomas, not a surprise. That's what he expects out of himself each and every season. Finishing the top 10 in receiving yards each of his first 3 years in the league. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, first-time first-team All-Pro in 2018, and he has tremendous hands, great moves downfield, and really, truly believes in himself. Check out his social media handle, Can't Guard Mike.
27 yards there, a first down.
Clearly, every time the Saints put together a game plan, they plan to get Michael Thomas involved early and often. 125 catches in 2018, the most in the NFL. Not bad for a kid at Pop Warner Football that only played the minimum number of plays every game.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. Brees leaves this one with Kamara. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Let's meet the starting 11 on defense for San Francisco. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
12.
Shotgun now for Brees. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it.
And Kamara has it stripped. And now we get a look at Brees, who is slow to get up. Let's hope he's okay. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The San Francisco offense heading out, and a welcome sight for 49er fans. Jimmy Garoppolo leading the way. Jimmy, of course, lost for the season in Week 3 last year in Kansas City, and then the Niners really struggled the rest of the way without him. The silver lining to the early season injury, it gave Jimmy Garoppolo plenty of time to heal and get back to 100%. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And these are the guys we're about to see down on the turf in just a moment.
Joe Staley, the left tackle, one of the most respected players in the league, as well as one of the most talented.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Garoppolo now. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mind.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Von Bell. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Rush in, rush in, rush in.
Here's Kamara off the draw. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss. We're only in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And that will be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Push him back. Check 21. He's crashing.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier.
Check, 47. Crunch time, defense.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And able to haul it in is Kittle. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Garoppolo is going to find his running back. It's complete. 16 yards, a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Kill.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. And Thomas has it. He won't go down. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
At their 49-yard line.
6-0 our score after 1. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 32-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Going quickly here to Thomas. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's get off the field, D.
To the air again with Bridgewater. Well, he's got his tight end, that's Smith. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
The Saints spent a 3rd-round pick on Tre'Quan Smith out of UCF in 2018, and what a thrilling season for him. He was the guy that caught the pass from Drew Brees that moved him past Peyton Manning to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation. Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will make our score 9-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. We remind you that coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football. Seems like we've seen the Seahawks quite a bit in prime time the last few weeks, and we get them again tonight as they head down to L.A. to take on the Rams. And then tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, it's Giants-Eagles from chilly Philadelphia. Bridgewater on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
To throw is Bridgewater. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Bridgewater now from the 50. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's got this down to the 35. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 35.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. And again, it's Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter.
Check four. Deuce.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Garoppolo hustling him back to the line now. Throwing again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the 2nd half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Bridgewater to throw it. Thomas has got it. Complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. Throwing is Bridgewater. And this one complete to Smith. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Number 53. Mike 53. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and they are just about ready to head to halftime with the Dolphins on top. Ryan Fitzpatrick has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. The Texans seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. That one has really opened up. The Vikings have just scored again. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. Space to maneuver at the 40. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 36 yards on the play.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
21.
From the 31, Garoppolo. That's complete to his speedy wideout, Goodwin. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
Buddy up, the 6. Mike's 56. Hey, we heavy on the edges. Check 13. Check 13.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. On the return is Pettis. Oh, he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Coleman. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
11.
That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
65.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on third. Goodwin able to haul it in. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They run it again with Kamara. And spins away. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Let's go.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The throw from Breeze into the hands of Smith. Oh, still won't go down. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 45 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Kamara. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. Again, it's Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them.
Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Lutz with the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. And unfortunately for him, this montage, not highlights, lowlights in this one, partner.
Way too many mistakes, too many errors. Sometimes it's on the guy throwing the ball. Sometimes it's on the teammates, but it all comes back to him. It goes on his ledger. So when you're playing this type of a game, you start to look for other ways to get out of it. Do you throw it to shorter passes, some check downs, maybe use your legs a little bit more, don't throw the ball downfield. All those things you're looking for, and then you got to watch the tape and figure it all out so the next time it doesn't happen again.
So far the tape, 4 interceptions. And look at this. They come right back with a big shot downfield. They give him a gain of 38. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. This one complete to Coleman. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it a second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Looking for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Bridgewater now. This is caught by Gill. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Shreds the tackle. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. I'm
Garoppolo on first down. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
11. Hey, Foxtrot. 47's the mic. 47's the mic. Hey, man. Watch the boot.
Delayed game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. On play action, now Garoppolo. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On 2nd and 15 now. Garoppolo. And he finds his tight end, Salek. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down. They're never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. Completes it to Samuel. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. That's exactly what they got done.
They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. The Niners on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Mason Foster. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 52 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Going quickly here to Thomas. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Here's Bridgewater. Thomas has got it. Complete. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The kick by Lutz is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to... Love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game.
Check 26, check 26. Bang, 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 bang.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Garoppolo hustling him back to the line now. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long.
Go, go, go. Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. Hey, Mike 7.
Now Garoppolo. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
21.
Back to throw, Garoppolo. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Now Kamara. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for New Orleans, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. I'll be heading to the hotel. Charles, he's off to Bourbon Street.
No, I'm not.
Yes, we say so long from New Orleans.